It's okay. It's gonna all happen the way it's supposed to.
Okay then.
So, ladies, welcome.
Oh. Whoa, what happened to me?
There you are.
We can see you.
Where? Yeah, I can't see you.
We hear you.
Oh,
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
hi Gloria.
Right.
Did you get welcomed?
Yes. How you
Okay, good.
doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Increasing in my prayer life. That's how I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh. All right.
Yeah, so the word is I was saying it right, adroitness.
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 Adroitness. Adroit.
Yeah, I had to look up, listen to the sound, when you put it in Google and see how it's pronounced. So adroitness. Yeah, that word.
Adroit.
Coming out my mouth.
Adroitness. Is that it? Adroitness?
Yes.
Adroitness.
I when I looked at the word, I said, wow, that applies to our members. Being able to handle difficult situations with ease. So I thought about that we see things and hear things differently than most people who look at a situation and say they can't be done. So when we see that same situation, we are able to see what needs to be done, and we can have foresight to know how to handle it. Like that's something God put in us to be able to handle difficult situations and able to see it and put our heart into the matter and be just like they say that there couldn't be airplanes. We can't fly. However, these people saw something different. They saw that they were, they saw something different. And so with the things that we do, when other people are back in office, it can't be done, we have this insight like, oh, it's going to be done. I don't know how. We don't always have to have the answer, but that's that innateness that we see. Oh no, it's going to be done. Like Joanne didn't give up on getting Desmond Tutu
this week
to anoint to endorse her book, because she just felt something. There was a nagging, like, now he gonna do this book no matter how many times he say he couldn't. She felt
I just put off getting it published immediately and then I persisted, and every month or every 2 months I would write him again and ask him if he could. And
so I got it. So Carolyn, what I was saying, our word today, adroitness. Welcome.
Adroitness.
That we all have, all the PWIC members have that. It's the ability to be able to handle things calmly where other people can't handle them. And we have an innate gift that able to see a situation that we've been given by God to know what to do when other people are going like, that cannot happen. And it's like clear to you. And this feeling of it's going to happen. I don't know how, but no, this is my gift. This is my area, and it's not for everybody. Yeah. And I just said, yeah, that word applies to all of PWIC members. We all do things that's out of the ordinary, and people commend us and award us and And it's just that, and to us, it's like, we just do it. And people they want to commend us for doing something. And yeah, so I'm sent Chi-Chi is looking for the who wrote this article is looking for the log for the Zoom call. I'm sending this to her.
Yeah.
Give me a second. See. Okay. So we have a situation that we need prayer for. And I'll wait till Chi-Chi get on the phone and go back. But we need prayer for the school in New Orleans. We've had a great time. However, what we found out is they're in jeopardy of losing the school, and there's a board meeting on Monday. There's a board meeting on Monday to make that determination. So we are doing what we can, coming up with some strategies. Gail Flapion, who's one of our members, who's former president of the school board, is trying to get it postponed until we get more information. And we worked in the school last year and worked with the kids. It's a gorgeous school. We had never toured the school. And we got a chance to tour the school, and we were blown away. The campus is like a college campus. We've only been in the front. Good morning, Chi-Chi. How are you? So we only went to the front. The school has a wing on the school that's set up, high school, 9 to 12, that's set up as a medical center. And they teach the kids, preparing them that they could be a assistant for a registered nurse, the emergency, driving the emergency medical, but it's laid out. It looked like a clinic. They have little dummies on the hospital beds, and those kids were in the lab with their laptop, and they're just in it. And then they have another part of the school, this big, huge room that's set up state of the art, gorgeous, teaching the kids gaming, how to create the game.
Oh my gosh.
I know. How to create the game, preparing them for to be electricians, and they get to compete with kids across the United States.
Wow.
They have a forensic lab. They are preparing these kids, and they are trying to close the school down because of low enrollment. So we didn't know the board. We didn't know that was happening. So the board meeting is on Monday at 5:30. So we need your prayers of intervention so we can save the school. And at lunchtime, the kids argue. During the lunchtime, guess what they argue about? You'd never guess. They argue about whose floors are the cleanest on their unit.
Oh my
Are the
gosh.
shiniest.
That's
No,
great.
it's my floors.
Oh my gosh.
It's my floors that's cleaner than everybody else's floors. And
Wow.
they're gonna, no, it's me, it's mine. But they are so happy and content, and they are bringing in people to really teach these kids and preparing them for the future. And that is one of the things that we told the United Nations we were going to do. Building a new sustainable education system for future
Wonderful.
kids.
And they have it right there.
Yeah.
And that, yes.
Can you-
They're ahead of Valerie. Is that a public school, a charter school, a private?
It's chartered. And we
Can
are
you-
trying to, yeah. And so there's another KIP is taking over schools, and they're trying to take over that school, and we are trying
Oh,
to intervene.
yes.
And so please, we need,
They're a business. They're a for-profit, aren't they? That KIP,
I think so.
they're a for-profit and they want to come in and run the
They
schools.
run it and they want to
Yes.
make money, and we are
Sure.
working on intervening. So
Can you-
please, if you have any
Can you get a
information,
reporter on it?
Pardon?
Can you get a
Yeah.
news reporter on it? That will change
we are doing
everything.
what we can, yes.
Ready?
Yeah.
We
Have
are
them
doing
take
what, yeah,
yeah.
we are
Have them
doing.
videotape the inside, and it can change everything overnight. Yeah. Call a news
So
station
we have,
there.
yeah, we have some strategies. We're calling it, first Gail is trying to get it postponed. And we'll know this weekend. She has a friend that's on the school board that she's talking to. But that school, Denise could tell you, Denise was there.
Valerie, I have a question. When you said they're trying to postpone it, are they trying to postpone that part of the agenda from the meeting? Because they
Yes,
cannot
we are
postpone the
trying, we are
meeting.
intervening, trying to get that done. Because Gail Glapion is handling that. That's one of the strategies until we can get more information. So please, we need your prayers, because we had no idea. And that would devastate the work we're doing in the lower ninth. It would devastate the kid
The sooner
and
you
the
got,
staff.
I think
Every child in the school, every child had the phone number for the principal and assistant principal.
Can
For
get-
whatever they need. It's a family, it's home to them.
Valerie, what's the relationship with the local public district that it's in?
With
they
the
s-
what?
What's the relationship the charter school has with the local public school district? Because it's the public school district that would be sending the funds there. So are they supporting it? And are there other
don't-
schools?
I don't know. Denise, you know any of that?
Because
We're just trying to find out.
because
There's a
a
lot-
charter school has to be under a public school, the public school district.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what their relationship is, what their thoughts are. And are they trying to sell it off, or do they want to keep it for their own bragging rights to
Right,
have a wonderful school like that
Well, we're now an all charter school system.
in New Orleans?
Hmm.
Oh, really? Oh, but is there anybody over education?
Yeah, there's a school district, but
There is a school district, but all the schools are charter schools.
yeah,
So is this KIP trying to come in and take over all the charter schools?
I don't know about all of them, but they have, they're national, they have hundreds of charter
Yeah.
schools they
Mhm.
run.
right.
I think
Well,
that-
if you could get the mayor or some political
Wow.
yeah,
in there, that would help, because you don't even want them to make a decision yet. But
right,
what if?
exactly.
Oh.
But what if they do? Then it's too late to get all that political
Right.
influence, because you already have connections with everybody there, don't you? With
Yeah.
people that support your program. They're the ones that can, one little call to the
Right.
newspaper or top
The
station.
state representative, somebody to step in.
Yeah,
at least to
we're
put it
trying
on
to,
hold.
the main thing right now, we're trying to see if we can get it postponed.
Yeah, but what if you can't? And so then
Yeah, if we can, then we will call up them. We'll know
but then it's
by later
too,
today.
but then it's too late.
Well, the meeting is not till 5:30 in the evening, so we have time to get something done.
Yeah, I would definitely get a state representative or somebody.
Would that help? Yeah.
Or, well, I don't know about state, because I
Yeah.
know Louisiana, but
Well, I'm
That's
just,
a good idea.
but the local people you've been working with, they could make some calls immediately and
Mhm.
get
Yeah.
influence there, because otherwise they're just going to come in like a bulldozer.
Yeah, I got it. And I will keep everybody informed, and you're welcome to call me individually if you have any other ideas too.
Valerie,
and
just, are they, connected to any, university or any medical center that they're giving these kids accreditation or anything for taking those kind of classes that you mentioned?
I don't know.
Mm,
Yeah, we are
'cause
just
they,
finding,
yeah,
yeah,
could-
we're
they
just
could be some
finding
key
out
players
what
too.
that is.
Wow.
It-
That's a lot to
it-
figure out by Monday.
Yeah,
A lot of moving pieces.
and we just got a buy-in from NASA that want to participate. So we got
Oh,
it
wow.
going, and we don't need them to do that. So
You
anyway,
just need a small article in what is it? I don't remember the name of the newspaper, but that in the op-ed section about the wonderful work that's going on there.
right,
And that's all you need. And that could get, that would be really helpful.
yeah,
Because one little newspaper article on a project I was doing, I was taking and wanted to take supplies to Romania, and
mhm,
it went overnight all over, and they supplies poured in. I delivered the first pediatric x-ray apron to the only pediatric hospital in Romania after the revolution. So I mean, medical supplies, diapers, you name it.
right,
One tiny op-ed.
yeah. Well, thank you, Connie, and we'll conclude this, but we want to get on with Chi-Chi. Are you able to talk now? Because she's in a training. And she just texted me and said she may not be able to talk, but this was her article.
Yeah.
And Marion helped write it. And I was for those of you who are not on the call, I was saying that this word, adroit, it's coming, adroit,
Okay, think of the word toy.
Toy.
Same, adroit.
adroit.
It's like an
adroitness.
Android. It's like an
Android.
Android without the N.
Yeah.
It's being able to see things that are unseen to others and being able to accomplish that. Like we have that innate thing inside of us where we could see things that need to be done, and other people are saying that can't be done, and we're going like, no, it's going to happen. So
I have a sentence.
and I know all of you are have that ability, have been able to accomplish things that people are blown away by because they couldn't see how to do it.
Valerie, I have a sentence.
Okay.
Okay. Valerie's adroitness at handling complex problems is gaining recognition and admiration from many people nationally and globally.
Oh, very nice.
That's great. Beautiful.
Thank you.
That's really nice.
You're hired.
Well,
I like it. I like it.
Press secretary.
it's a perfect word for you.
I have to write that down, and you have to text that to me.
I'll put it in. I can put it in the chat.
In the chat.
Yeah, and I know that all of you, I was saying that Joanne, and we gonna keep her lifted up in prayer because she just got out of the emergency room for her heart and still on the call. I appreciate that. But was able to get Desmond Tutu when it was like he kept saying, I can't do it, and she didn't give up, and was able to get that accomplished.
He kept saying, I can't do it right now.
And the work that Dr. Carolyn Scott has done, have done with her bookmarkers and all the work in the community, was awarded the presidential award for a life achievement award. And so she just does it every day, and we do the things that we do. We see a problem and it's like, that's gonna happen. And able to accomplish. So we all had that word that is deep down inside. So Chi Chi cannot talk right now. She is on the call and she may come in back and forth, but she's in a training. And so Marion, I know you wrote the article. Could you quickly highlight some of the things Chi Chi talked about in the article?
Yeah, pretty much basically what we're talking about is that, you know, as humanitarian leaders, we need to shine. And one way to do it is using our skills, being clever about everything, and using every resource you have. So, you know, we are basically we started the article with Chi Chi expressing, you know, she's from Nigeria, and basically, you know, her name means God's gift. And she had a lot of struggles growing up. The parents had an arranged marriage. There was a dowry that her dad was supposed to have cashed, but he never did. And in the end, her dad started a project called Marindu, which means water for life, which is a name symbolizing giving from, you know, his heart. And basically, Chi Chi went from there to England, and she, you know, left the Nigerian lifestyle behind. She got married, but her husband was very abusive, and she found herself physically and emotionally broken, of course, if any of us have gone through that. With time and courage and her adroitness, she was able to walk away from that. Even though, you know, religion may tell you you can't get divorced, but with the amount of abuse that she was experiencing, she got up enough courage to go against culture and everything else to leave and start her own thing and get better. She, while she was recovering, she started a circle of healing and started to rebuild her life. She moved from England to California, and then God led her to empower women, to minister, and gave her her calling for her life, which is, she heard the Lord saying, you know, who am I going to send? Who's going to go for us? And Chi Chi said, I'm here. I'm here. Send me. So she decided that she wanted to go back to her village in Nigeria because she knew there was no water. Everybody had to walk 3 to 3.5 miles every day to get fresh water. So what she did was she took a little bit of money that she had, she went out and got all of her resources set up, and they went and drilled 250 feet down in that village where she's from in Nigeria. They drilled down 250 feet. Now, usually when you drill down that far, the water is going to come out what they call gray. Okay. And then that means you got to go boil it before you can drink it. Well, guess what? The first, I don't know the name of it, the first drill, the water came out crystal clear. Nobody has to boil anything. Nobody has to worry about any germs or anything else. It is fresh, clear water. And she not only did it once, but she's gone back again now to do a second drill. And it also has given them clean, clear water. And the relationship that she has with the people in the village is so amazing, because those people don't have the basic necessities, you know, over there, like water. I mean, it's basic. So what they did is they threw a big, huge celebration for Chi Chi, thanking her for bringing them life-giving water. She's also has been teaching the women in the village and the men to become farmers. She has given them chickens to start chicken farms so that they can be, again, self-sustaining. Self-sustaining. So
X, what happened to him?
basically, you know, that's what she's done. That's her calling in life, is to give back. And God has given her the resources and the adroitness for her to get what she needs and get it done, and have everyone who participates celebrate in God opening the door, giving her the resources so she could drill, so that she could change the lives of people who need water and food. And now they're becoming chicken farmers. And
Great story.
she's also started a
Amen.
sewing class where the women are learning to sew.
Teaching them to be sustainable.
Yeah.
That is so commendable, Chi-Chi, if you can hear us. I know you're in your training, but we applaud you for your work. That was a great story. Thank you so much, Marion, for sharing on her behalf. So with that, look at, and we're going to share just maybe about 2 to 3 minutes, quick stories on what is it that you have done using adroitness. Adroitness in your life that other people couldn't see, something that you've accomplished, and you know, you're being commended for, but and people just couldn't think that was possible. So remember, we want to keep it short so we get a chance to hear everyone and then get some input from you on the school. So Maureen, we're going to start with you.
I guess I can't think of anything personally, like anything like that. That's a tough thing to follow, drilling wells. But when I saw the word and you were talking about it, it just seems that in the words that we come up with every month, there does seem to be that theme of those types of words that I think everyone on the call is kind of drawn to. And I just think that kind of reflects the people as a group that are here, because everything is about resilience and overcoming something, again, whether it's personal, professional, community-wide, whatever. And I think that, you know, the people in this group, as I said, we're drawn to those kind of words and people that kind of show those characteristics and qualities. And because I think it's what we admire in other people, and it's how we want to kind of try to live our lives. And I think people that don't have that are people that perhaps we're not attracted to, or don't want to, you know, they kind of disqualify themselves, I guess. So again, as soon as I saw this word when it was first sent to us, I thought, wow, there just seems to be a theme that this group is really attracted to words with those kind of qualities with it. So
Yes, we are here to empower each other and to uplift each other. And so you can look at Chi-Chi's story, which is of course amazing, but bringing it back to home, you have to say, okay, where was I really resourceful in any area in your life? Where, you know, the circumstances may have been against you, but you knew that you needed to get something done. So it's not just about you being capable, it's about you being agile and practical during those circumstances, and yet still be resourceful enough to obtain your goal. And I don't care if it's reading a book that you've needed to get through, or if it was something that happened to you in college or high school or with your kids. You know, was there what type of skills did you need to get through those circumstances? What resources were given to you? Go ahead, Denise.
Yeah, I think I'll share because I didn't have an example until I looked at the definition. But when I first came to work at the University of New Orleans, the state gave new employees 30 days to sign up for health insurance. Well, the people who hired me never told me that. So when I arrived here in New Orleans, the deadline for signing up for health insurance had passed, and I would have a 6 months to 1 year waiting period. So I went to the chair of the department and I said, would you be willing to be an ally with me while we go forward to appeal this decision? And he said he would. So we went to the director of human resources, and I think the difference was we weren't going there to slam him or bam him, or I didn't go forward with that notion. And we asked him the same question. We know this would be an exception, but would you be willing to be an ally with us? And he said yes. And the end result was he wrote a letter to the state authorities, whoever they were, requesting an exception, and an exception was granted. So I was able to get health insurance without that lengthy waiting period.
Praise God.
Yeah.
That's big. That's big because they never want to do it outside of their little window.
And they told, yeah, and I think they said, and this has never been done before.
Oh,
See,
I
that's
love it.
major.
I love it. They broke every rule for you. That's how God works.
All right. Hi, Jan. We haven't seen you in a
Hola.
while.
I'm here.
Hi, Jane. Good to see you.
Hi.
Hi.
So,
Yeah.
do you have an example? We want to keep it short, but because I know you've done some
Yeah.
phenomenal things with your house burning down and able to keep going, and then the house wasn't fixed correctly. So,
I know it's been quite.
and you can share anything you want.
battle.
That's just something I know.
I think what just came to my mind is I coordinate the retreat center for the Vincentian priest, and we had our 10th anniversary in London, which was a big thing. And we got a hall for 2,000 people, and 3,000 people turned up, and I'm the one in charge of the volunteers. And I'm the only woman, and it's men, Indian men, who don't respect women. So they all started arguing because there were almost 1,000 people over. And they went to the priest, and I was trying to tell them what to do, if we can take some people in the upper room to put a TV there, but they won't listen to me. And they were about 10 leaders, and I'm the only woman. And they went to the priest, and the priest said, go back to Jane. She'll find a way to fix this.
So the men did not want to listen. You're the only woman, and they had to come back to you to know what to do.
Yeah. So when the priest told them, they all came, and I was like, okay, this is the plan. This is what we're going to do. We put some seats up there, and it was so humbling for me because I realized the priest knows I've got that capability of sorting a mess. And it was amazing. We managed to have some people sitting on the floor, on the sides, and 3,000 people fitted in perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah.
You must be good at puzzles.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was just amazing because I was going through some personal issues, as Verily knows. So I had a choice to say, I'm not going to that meeting, but I felt the Lord saying, you are needed there, just go. And I'm so glad I was
leading
there
the men.
to help organize it.
That's amazing.
Yes, Indian men.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That is amazing. That was a great
It's
one.
something I've not experienced before because I didn't know Indian men don't respect women to be leaders.
Yeah.
And it's been a very big struggle because the priest put me in charge of all of them. Yes.
That is so great. I love that story. Thank you for sharing and welcome back.
Thank you.
Dr. Scott, are you available?
Oh, yes, yes, thank you. Was just trying to listen well and get a bite at the same time.
Oh, no, I understand that.
Yeah,
Multitasking, yes.
again. So I'm just so blessed by hearing what you ladies are doing, and it just always confirms my love for PWIC. So quickly, so that everyone can speak. Um, I had the privilege of being inspired early in my life. During my elementary school years, hard things happening during civil rights, and um, which inspired me to just continue to look for and read about through the Encyclopedia Britannicas and the books that my parents brought from the South that told stories about the innovators and inventions of the African American people to the world around them, and things that are hidden from our history books. And so, as a result of it being hidden, um, folks saw African Americans as non-contributors all over the globe to the world around us, science, technology, socially. But as I began to pray, as things seemed to get worse, I asked God, what could we do to help people understand? And so it was revealed through bookmarks that tell stories where people just see them and they'll grab them, or uh, everyone will take a book, even if they don't want to read it. They have a book, but they'll use a bookmark to mark the spot where they stopped learning. The bookmark not only marks that spot, but it continues to tell the story each time they look at it. So I created a series of bookmarks, to make a long story short, where folks continued to feel, as Proverbs says, hope deferred makes the heart sick. But when desires are met, it leads to a tree of life, joy, and peace. And so Dr. King put it, out of a mountain of despair, a stone of hope. A lot of our people are very hopeless, helpless, and they feel underserved. Well, long story short, not only was I able to create a series of bookmarks, but an exhibit that goes back to 1700. And from 1700 to 2022, we found thousands of inventors, thousands of inventions, even to the robot probe that goes out of space and helps them collect specimens and to see what's being done. An African American created it. A young man that lives not far, he lived not far from me, right up the street, created the stent for heart surgery and saving lives all over the world. He advanced it from a 10-hour surgery to a 2-hour surgery, from a month in the hospital and a month on bed rest to going home the very next day. And there are so many others, the Moderna vaccine and air conditioning and the like. But out of that, where people thought this could not happen, and I listened to the story of the young woman that came out of an abusive marriage, I too, but it never stopped me from looking at the world around me and what can we do to help our people and to help others. And so, with that, where folks were in dismay, did not think, after 250 years, for the first time, this project is put into every learning institute, our main libraries in San Francisco, and where no other city or state in the nation has accomplished putting the true history and information into a learning institution. And we're still pushing forward for more schools, not just to take their children to the libraries to get the bookmarks or get them in different sites that have asked for them, but for the schools to adopt this and make it a part of their learning and teaching. So that was my adroitness of just being able to shine a light on hidden history so that others could see, the accomplishments and contributions of a nation.
That was really great. Very well put too. You got to write your book.
Working on it. We're working on making it a legacy so it's never lost again.
Got it.
Oh, no.
Awesome. I love
I
that.
have a name. I have a name that you could add to that list. I love learning, and so I have my 3 granddaughters, and I'm always, what are you doing? What's your homework? What are you working on? And my granddaughter Lucy, she's in 9th grade. They had to do research on someone that wasn't well known, and she picked a young woman who in 1922 came up with the remedy or the medicine to eliminate leprosy, and her name was Alice Ball, and she lived up in the Seattle area. And so back in that time, for a woman to go to college and to accomplish what she did, unfortunately she died at 24.
Wow.
Because working in her lab, she inhaled some chlorine gas. But she, to find the story, a name I never heard of, and it was just really impressive. So Alice Ball was, it was really a fascinating story of what she had to overcome, just, socially as a woman in chemistry, and, everything that she had to do. It was a really good story. I mean, good. I'm happy I found out about it.
Wow, that is so wonderful to hear. I'll see if that's part of my exhibit.
Yeah, Alice Ball. I don't know if she became a doctor, I think, but that was in the 1922.
Okay.
So she did have her master's. She got her master's, but she was on research and came up with that's eventually what eliminated leprosy.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing. I went to Dr. Scott's exhibits at the library with our project, and it was just really beautiful. Really, really, to have it in the main library in San Francisco was, that's huge. That's really huge. And so that's what happened when we follow what the leading of God. Gloria, are you able to talk?
You need to unmute. There
Okay. Yes, I am. Not able to show my beautiful face today, though.
We'll let you slide this time.
Thank you. This particular session here has been extremely encouraging for me. And even as you began to talk, Valerie and Marian and everybody, the scripture that kept coming to my mind is that scripture that we all know about faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that is what I've heard in this word, and in everything that everybody has said. Now, in my life, there have been, I haven't mastered the word. So in my life, there have been so many examples of how God has brought me through things that seemed impossible. But I'm going to go back to something that's very personal for me. And the reason I'm doing that is because the talk today has given me encouragement to go through a very physical thing that I'm going through now. I've got physical challenges now that I need to make it through. And the incident that I want to relate to you all is when I lost my hands. And I had surgery in Louisville, Kentucky at the time. My surgeons were the hand surgery associates. These are the guys who were doing, my surgery was precursor to the hand transplants. They were working toward one day doing hand transplants. And the way my hands were lost, when the surgeon looked at them, he had to decide whether to just cut them off at the wrist and give me hooks or work with them a little bit. So he said, well, she's too young to have two hooks. So he just saved as much as he could. So I have a thumb on the left hand and transplants on the right side. But what they said, okay, it was supposed to be a 10-year process of rebuilding my hands. And the surgery that I went through was invented by Dr. Bunky, who was at California Pacific Hospital at the time. And they did total hand transfer. So one reason I didn't go through rejections were they were taking body parts from my body and putting them on my hand. So it was a process. After about 4 years, I was getting surgeries. I was getting reconstructive surgeries about every 2 months.
Wow.
The Lord said, no more. I had to, I got pregnant. I was married. This accident happened 4 days after I got married.
Oh, gosh.
I got pregnant and I do not see myself having an abortion. So I had to decide whether to continue with the surgery and have an abortion or have the baby. And so I had the baby, which made the insurance company happy because they could spit me out. They didn't have to pay for 6 more years of reconstructive surgery. But because the surgery was half done, it wasn't done completely, I was told that I would never be able to function properly because I didn't have 10 fingers. I don't have hands. But what happened is, I remember I've always been this kind of person that I'm okay, but don't ever double dog dare me not to do anything. They were saying I would never function. At that time, I had a little Pinto. It was a little standard shift Pinto. I would get in the car and drive. My mother would be calling people across town. Oh, she's in the car. She gonna kill us.
Oh.
I every time somebody told me I couldn't do something, that's what I really wanted to do. When my husband we moved here to California. I had 2 girls, and coming from Alabama, you buy clothes for the older girl, the younger girl wears them. Well, I came out here and I was going to all these stores like Macy's and Penny's and all of them, and the clothes, they had these little teensy weensy seams. I mean, you couldn't let them out, you couldn't adjust them or anything. And then if you put the dress on the girl, on the baby, the diapers would be showing. So I'm saying, you gotta pay all of this money for this. So I got out my singer, and everything my girls wore, I made.
Oh my gosh.
Learned to sew when I was younger. And at that time I was really a really healthy person. So every piece of bread my children ate, I made. I was like this little Susie homemaker person. And as I look back, I wasn't supposed to be able to function at all because they were taking parts of my feet for reconstruction on my hands. So I have, how many toes? I have like 1, 2, 3.
You gotta count.
I have 3 toes on the left side and a piece of foot that's missing on the left side. And I have 4 toes on the right side, and the big toe is missing on the right side. But as I look back and I see how I have functioned, it's amazing to me, but not really, because I think it's all about God.
Yeah.
It's all about God. And if you've got this, if you're in, like Darius Rucker sings this song I like about being in a southern state of mind, in a southern state of mind, or in a mother state of mind, and you got children and your children need something, you're going to do it. You're going to find a way to do it. I don't care how crippled you are. You could be blind, you could be deaf, you could be dumb. You're going to find a way to do it. So that word, and there are so many other things that God has done for me that word would fit perfectly. But that God has taken me back to that today, because that is feeding me, getting up off my assets and doing what I need to do now.
That's awesome.
Wow.
That's a great story. Thank you so much for sharing, Gloria.
Yep.
And thank you so much for being who you are. That's amazing. And you do so much too for other people. Thank you. Irma, are you available?
Yes, I'm here.
And I guess you've been sitting back listening to all of these stories.
Yeah, yes, I have.
How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you.
Steve.
What can I say? What's my story? I think, as I mentioned maybe on the last call, I was in Kiev, Ukraine last month. And it was, normally it's an assignment I would have taken. I wouldn't thought twice about it, but given everything that's going on in the country, it's the first time I think I've felt fear to take on an assignment. But I decided that I would push through it, that whatever would happen, and I'll deal with it as I had to. So it meant, in order for me to get to Kiev, I had to fly into Poland. And from Poland, I had to take a shuttle, a 10-hour drive on the interstate, or between the two countries, to get me to Kiev. And I have to say, it was a surreal experience in that you hear so much about the bombings and so forth, what's going on. I think I saw maybe on my way there 2 to 3 buildings that had been bombed out. But other than that, it was idyllic. It was small rural towns with churches. About every 20 houses, there was a church, Orthodox church. So by the time I get to Kiev, again, it's people sitting in restaurants, people walking down the streets. You know, you have all this other information in Europe around the bombings and so forth. But what I forgot was Ukraine probably is about the size of the US. So it's like where the bombings are occurring think of New York being bombed and you're in California. So you know about the bombs, you see and hear about it, but you're not affected directly. That's what it was like being in Kiev. To know that somewhere men are being conscripted, being forced to go to the military. So I was there to work with the UN agency and the staff there, because they were starting a new program that they wanted to do. And so what was challenging was working with the staff, who are a combination of Ukrainians and internationals living there. But because it is considered an emergency station, the internationals leave every 4 to 6 weeks, and then they go back. But they leave every 4 to 6 weeks, take a week off, and come back. So you've got this back and forth. So the whole idea was, how do you get a group of people to work together as a team?
Right.
How to keep that momentum. And because they're all technical, so you have your health, your nutrition, your child protection, but my focus was how to work together in a cross-cutting way. So disability, that's not a health problem. It's not a child protection problem. It's both. How do you deal with disability? How do you deal with mental health and psychosocial support, given all the kinds of things that are going on? How do you address issues of gender in those kind of situations? So on the one hand, the adroitness of it was working on the technical part while simultaneously working on the emotional part with the colleagues there. So by the time I was there for a week, so it's quick, it's intense, and it's trying to get people to say, you can do this, you can move forward. And I have to admit, while I was there at night, we had the air sirens because they were bombing Kiev, actually, but not exactly where I was. So it was that, how do you manage yourself in those circumstances? And then how do you take whatever you have, at least what I had to offer, to help other people manage what's going on with them?
Wow.
It was an intense experience, but if I had it to do over again, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Wow.
Got it. Wow. That's
Superwoman.
hi, Carly.
No.
Yeah, that's Superwoman. Where's
No,
your cape?
but it's giving those colleagues who are out there on a day-to-day basis. We forget, we see the news and the big splashes, but we forget that they have families, they have loved ones, they have other things, and they're trying to do a job, and they're struggling with that on a daily basis.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's really commendable. I applaud you in every sense of the word.
Thank you. But it's not me, it's them.
I got it. That's how it always is. I got it. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's a phenomenal story. We need to write a book on all of these stories.
Boy, we sure do.
I think it would make a great book if you did put one together, and get other members telling their stories. And I think you'd come up with a great book,
Yeah.
inspiring people to do things, to take on things, to make things happen
Yes.
in spite of whatever is going wrong.
I see.
Hi, welcome, Dr. Honeycutt.
Welcome.
We've
thank
had
you.
some incredible stories this morning.
I bet.
So, Connie, do you have something to share? And remember, we're trying to keep it to like 3 minutes.
Hi.
There you are.
Well,
I know you have lots of stories, Connie.
I'm just so blown away by these stories that I'm listening to. It's just phenomenal, and it just makes me so proud to be a member of this group. As far as adroitness, I guess I'm very adroit at research, and I use that research to help different people in the community. Use me as a resource to help them when they're trying to decide things like for housing, sustainable housing, mental health, food security, because I love to do research. I love anything to do with the brain, and I know there's solutions that are possible that we could help a lot more people. But I guess that would be, I'm adroit at doing research and documentation. And the reason I got to be that way is that growing up, I lived in so many places until I was finally adopted at age 8. I didn't know how to read or write, and my twin brother was retarded, and had been put in an institution. And so I was trying to get attention, I guess, not attention exactly, but I thought that maybe if I was like him, people would care about me too. And that's weird. But what happened is that this 50-year-old couple, they were in their 50s, I mean, and they adopted me, and they read to me, and the books they read to me well, my mom was all about people who were inspirational, who had overcome incredible odds. Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, just everybody. And I got interested in reading that way. And then I went on and I did go to school. I did learn. And I ended up actually as an editor for Harcourt Brace Publishing Company, as a textbook editor, overseeing the entire level, and happened to do research and document and everything. And so those skills, it was the hardest job possible. In fact, they exploited us. They made us, they said, you're independent contractor. So you work as when you work at your own will, but we were working 80 hours a week and people were going in the hospital sick, etc. So I did my research on what the laws were, and I reported them to the Department of Labor and got all of them. All the publishing companies had to redo their thinking, because during all that time, I was also collecting evidence of them telling us we had to work until, 10 or 11, or we could, 7 days a week. So anyway, of course, for some reason I got laid off.
Wonder why.
But it was okay. It really was the reason I was finally able to do all the stuff I've been able to do ever since. So whatever very big, my learning from that was whatever huge difficulty you have is a stepping stone, is a blessing to a lesson you learned and can help others with. Because I was able to, as you know, I was able to go all the way to the Romanian Supreme Court to get our little girl out of that horrible situation she was in. So people have, they know, I can tell Dr. Irma from your travels that you know how difficult some areas are, some places, and they just admire all you and everybody, because doing good work is just, it is just amazing. I mean, we need a lot more people to do it. So that's my 2 cents worth.
Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing. Joanne, do you have a quick share?
Yeah, I'm gonna, since you mentioned my book and Desmond Tutu, I'm gonna say a little more about that, because I think it fits in with this. When I did finally write a book, I had said for years I was gonna write a book. I kept saying, I'm gonna write a book, I'll write a book. Well, I finally did. And then I got it written and I got it edited, and I got, it was like I was satisfied with it. And then I started trying to find someone to write comes in front, the
A preface?
the forward, the
Yeah.
forward. And I wanted it, since it was a religious book. I wanted a religious person, and I was hoping to get a well-known religious person. And so I started with the one who came to my mind first, and I don't remember his name, but I wrote to his office and asked, and got asked if he would write, described what I'd written, said something enough about it that I thought it would at least perk up his interest. And I immediately got an answer back, no, can't do that. And then I wrote to someone else got an answer back immediately. No, I can't do that. And so I chose another person, got an answer back immediately. No, I can't do that. Well, of course, by the third one, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? What do I do? What do I do? Do I give up on this? Do I just go on and get the book put out there? I don't have to have someone writing a preface or a, a beginning or something, a forward or, I don't have to have that. And I thought about it and prayed about it and thought about it and prayed about it and prayed about it. And finally, the name Desmond Tutu came to mind. And at that particular time, I think part of the reason came to mind is that he was in the news at that time. And I said, Desmond Tutu, he's the one. He's the one. So I wrote to his office, and the secretary wrote back, well, he's traveling and speaking right now. He can't do this right now. And I wrote back and said, how long will he be traveling and speaking? Well, it'll probably be several months. And I said, do you think he will do it, when he finishes traveling and speaking? And she said, she wrote back, I don't know. He might, but he might not. I don't know. I don't know what all he's getting into as, speaking and traveling and what he's setting up for himself. And I said, can you send it on to him and see what he says about it? And so she said, yes, I'll do that. And so she sent it to him, and it took a while, but he finally came back with, I will consider it. I have some questions to ask and I will consider it, but not until I'm back and not traveling anymore. And I said, okay. So I have that. I will continue on with my life. I'll go through the book again, see what else I need to fix in it. I'll have it completely ready to send to the publisher when he writes what he's going to write for me and whatever. And he came back, and the secretary told me, and so I sent the book and my copy, of the book. And by the time it got to him, he had started traveling again. And he was gone again. And so here we were. And I don't know. God told me to wait. God just told me to wait. That's all I can say, because of course I wanted to get my book published. Of course, I'd spent a couple of years writing it. I wanted it. I wanted it out there. I wanted to start promoting it, talking to people about it. I wanted to start selling it. I wanted it, of course, out there. And now here I was going to have to wait some more to get Desmond Tutu to write something. But I waited. I did wait. And finally he came back to his office. It was several weeks. And finally he came back to his office and looked at that and got a letter from him, and asking me some questions, which I answered. And he asked me more questions in response to those answers, asked me more, and I answered those. And he finally said, okay, yes, I'll write your forward.
Wow.
And I just almost passed out. I just almost didn't know what to do, what to say, or what to, it was just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And
That's great.
so, yes, of course, what I did when I designed the front cover for the publisher, when I basically did that, I didn't design it, but I drew something how I thought I wanted it done.
Yeah,
I put
great book.
at the front top of the book, forward by Archbishop Desmond Tutu, because
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I wanted that out there since
Yeah.
and I
That's so
just
great.
I have never stopped thanking God for making it happen and for keeping me going with it.
Yes.
When other
Got
people
it.
would have given up and said, oh well, I want to get this done. And when you're that
Awesome.
close to finishing the book,
Yes,
you know, you want to get done with it finally. You really do.
right.
When you know, spend a couple of years writing a book and finally you're to the end of it.
Right.
But
Yes.
I just Valerie, I thank you for mentioning it earlier because probably wouldn't have thought of it if
Yeah.
you had mentioned it. And then I looked
Right.
around, it's like, oh, do I have a copy
Yeah.
here?
Well,
Yeah, and
thank
sure
you
enough, I had
so
a
much,
copy right over there.
Joanne. Yeah,
So
that was an
yes,
amazing story too. Thank you so much.
you're
So
very
we're
welcome.
yeah, thank you. This is really some amazing stuff, and other people should hear it around the world. These stories that's told
I
today.
agree. I agree. I think it would make a
Yeah.
good book.
I
That
think
could
so
be your
too.
sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bring Chi is taking a break up from her training and able to talk, and she's the one who wrote it. And before she talked, Mariam, just really quickly so Dr. Honeycutt can get it, would you just say the meaning of the word today? And then we're gonna go to Chi. Yes.
You want me to tell you the meaning, okay? It
And what
is,
we've been talking about, and then we're going to Chi.
it's having skill, having the cleverness, and the resourcefulness to handle any situation.
Yeah, what I said about that, Dr. Honeycutt, is that God give us something to handle a situation that no one else can see how it's done. Like we are anointed for that thing. So Chi wrote the story. Chi, Marion gave us your story, which was really incredible. And so we want to hear from you.
Thank you so much. And I dubbed my hat out to Marianne because we went back and forth. And of course, there's more to the story. But I listened to her narrating my story, and I do greatly appreciate it. There's more to come. And actually, Marianne and I came up with the word conqueror. We are conquerors, you know. And I'm just going to take a little bit of a snip from my book, upcoming book, just to just share a little bit of an experience. You know, as a woman of African descent, everyone should know divorce is never an option, and especially if you are from a family that practices Catholicism, it's even more difficult, right? Because there's a long process that we all have to go through. But my life is a story, and everything about me is unique. And again, up to my name, which stands for God's gift. But I think that having the opportunity to express and to share my story is always a big gratitude to God to giving me that opportunity. And one thing I would like to say is that when I started my water project, which I call Mirindo, Mirindo stands for Water for Life. And like she said, when God gives you a vision, whether the resource is there or not, you have to keep pushing forward because He will always make a way where there is no way. For instance, when I started my water project, it was many, many years ago, but my first one got opened in 2021. And I remembered when I approached several organizations for the water project, I was turned because they saw Nigeria as a country with richness and great resources. But like I said last month, because of the greediness of the politicians, people are starving from just basic necessities. So I didn't give up, right? And then again, why I chose Nigeria is not because I can't do it anywhere else. I do donate to other areas that deals with water. But I went to this community because I knew that I can lay a foundation that whatever resource I have would go 100% into the project. And I will tell you, like I shared with you guys last month, when you can give, never relent in giving, because the Bible says it's always better to give than to receive. But the most important thing about what I'm doing and what I will continue to do and what I aspire to do more is to always follow your vision. Never stop following your dreams. It may not be today, but as long as we have air to breathe, and God gives us life, He will make a way for you to actualize your dream. So my dream of giving water, to clean water, to cure some waterborne diseases is significant. And the ability to move that project forward with a little resource that I have is great. But I think the significance of it is that I'm giving back, I'm paying it forward. And not only am I paying it forward, there are other generations that will come after me. As I'm following my father's footsteps, I would want them to also continue in that footstep, right? So we're living by example. And the resources that we have, Adonis, means that when you have the ability to give, to do, never relent. And again, never give up. Because when you fall, we teach our kids, get up and keep going. If you fall and lay flat, then that means you've given up. But if you fall and struggle to get up and you're able to stand back on your feet, then that means you're moving up to greatness. And the greatness in us will always come out. And I'm telling you, the more you do, the more people will now say, oh, if she can do it, then we can join hands and get it done together. So one thing I want to tell you, Valerie, again, you never gave up on me joining this group. And that is what resilience is all about. That's what Adonis stands for. Because of you, I'm here. And I know whatever changes that I can bring, which meaning if a woman want to go for a divorce and that's how you save your life, you're going to have to do it because it's all about saving your life. I chose divorce because I wanted to live, and I'm living today to be able to carry on those dreams that God put in my mind and in my heart to do. So thank you, and I hope to have an opportunity to do a training on being a survivor, on being a conqueror. That's who I am, and that's who I will always be. Thank you all.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Yay. That's
Yeah.
really great. Thank you for
Yeah.
writing the article, Chi. Thank you so much. So Dr. Honeycutt, with that said, we're looking for what is something that you have done that other people think that it couldn't be done, but you saw a way to do it. You have anything you'd like to share?
Yeah, and it's going to be brief because I really like the stories that I'm hearing from the rest of you. Basically, anything that I do is because God allows me to do it. So throughout my lifetime, I have been told that there are some things that women can't do, that women of color can't do. And I was blessed with having two wonderful women in my life, my mother and my grandmother, and they, you know, they countered all of that and made sure that I was able to get a quality education. And my grandmother, as I've told you before, told me, "You've been blessed, Ronnie, so you need to give back." And and I started working in the community. I continue to work in the community now. And I'm going to be honest with you, the work that I do in the community is not easy. There are political forces and demonic forces that are at play. If it were not for God, I would not be able to do anything. So I want to be very clear with you on that. When I went up to lobby, because I like the housing being available here in San Francisco where I reside, when I went up to lobby the assembly and the senators, I told you about this too, SB 593, sponsored by Senator Weiner and Mayor London Breed. We, knew that we would have to, be very compelling in whatever we said to them. And through the grace of God, we were able to get it approved. So that means that 6,000 units of housing will be coming to San Francisco. And one of the projects that will be paid for by that particular bill will be Freedom West, which is a large community of primarily African American, some Asian people, and some Latino people in the Western Addition. So, but that's what you don't understand is the backstories and how people will do everything. Some people will do everything within their power to stop things from being done. And so therefore, I know that I'm here to do the work that God has called me to do. I'm still here. You awakened me this morning, opened up my eyes so I could see all of you, you wonderful women doing great things. Chichi in Nigeria. Joanne, in that book, Unforgiveness, marvelous. Yeah, you know, all of you. So that's my blessing. So what am I doing now? Finishing up my book. Okay. Valerie is featured in the book. But so are some other women of different nationalities and age groups who are featured as well. And, you know, this is my whole thing. If one person is helped by the book that I write, that's enough for me, because I know my Heavenly Father knows my heart, knows what I'm doing, and will open up opportunities. And he already has. I mean, I've had 2 companies call me and want to sponsor my book.
Oh,
Wow.
And I haven't had a chance to get
Awesome.
to them because I'm too busy working on trying to be, and Dr. Carolyn can speak to this because she's a warrior that's fighting too. We're trying to get the Candlestick Park over the final hurdle with the Board of Supervisors so that they can start development on that massive project, which will bring affordable housing and all kinds of opportunities for stakeholders, not only in the Bayview district of San Francisco, but through the city and county of San Francisco. So my friends, I'm telling you, when he puts you on a job, he usually surrounds you with people who have good sense. If you are there with people who don't have good sense, it's time for you to pray for them and get out of their faces so that you can take care of some business.
All right.
That's it. That's it. So, you know, it's always, you know, he moves me around so that I can do certain things. I could tell you more stories. I could tell you about way back in my lifetime when I had a man that I worked for. I was running one of the schools for City College of San Francisco. And for some reason, he didn't like me too much. I don't know why, because I tried to be accommodating and nice to him. But in the end, God got him too.
Yeah.
Okay, and straightened him out because a woman who was an icon in the Bayview community had a meeting with him and me, and he said, I will close this district down if you try to eliminate this school. He was scared to death of her. And he said to me after she left, he said, I don't want to see this woman again. Do whatever you want to do at this school. Thank you, because that gave us an opportunity to start the first biotech program for people in the neighborhood, which only made sense because the biotech industry was right down the street.
All right.
So this is what I'm trying to say to you. I could be here for 45 minutes, but I'm not going to be because I have a full day and I know you do too. But
We need to get that woman to go to New Orleans and talk to the charter.
Well, you got Valerie, you got Dr. Marcia Canton down there. You've got all that group of wonderful women and men in
Denise
New Orleans.
is down here.
And they're taking care of good business. We just need to pray for them. That they will be able to, so that they will let that school not become a KIPP school, but be the kind of school that they have that's flourishing and opening up opportunities for those young people.
Got it.
Okay? So it's, you know, it's constant, folks. But the key, trust in God. Do what he tells you to do.
Right.
Even if you don't want to do it, do what he tells you to do because he understands. And Chichi was right. He makes a way out of no way.
Sure enough.
We all know our lives are testimonies to that.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Valerie, for allowing me to speak.
I appreciate it. I think this has been a really great call. I appreciate everyone's stories. It's just so inspiring. So we are going to, our first thing is, as I said earlier, is to do our best to get that school board meeting about our school in the Lower Nine postponed and canceled, until we can bring together. And Dr. Honeycutt gave us a brilliant choice to call former attorney and mayor of New Orleans, Mark Morial, who's president of the I don't know if he still is, was president over all of the mayors. throughout the United States. And so that's one
Wow.
thing. If any of you, please pray that this meeting is canceled or postponed on Monday at 5:30 Central Time. Intervene in prayer. That school is a gem in that area. It's gorgeous, brand new. And Dr. Honeycutt, I think I told you, I don't know if I told you, but I was sharing that the kids at lunchtime, they fuss. They fuss over whose floors are the cleanest and the shiniest.
Love it.
Now, you know, that's so beautiful. You know, for kids to not squabble over, every student is knows the principal and the persistent principal phone numbers if they have a problem. It's family. Denise could tell you, you could feel the love between the staff and the kids. It's just phenomenal. And we need to keep the school. They're teaching future engineers. They're teaching in the medical field. They have the facilities there. And it's amazing. It's really, really amazing to see the work that they're doing. And they are doing exactly what our theme is with the United Nations, building a new sustainable education system for future careers. And we're right where we need to be. So we need the forces of evil have to stand back because we're in the midst.
Could you please tell me the name of the school, because I love to have the name I'm praying
Yeah,
for.
the name of the school is Martin Luther King High School in
Okay.
New Orleans, Lower Ninth Ward.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it was previous Lawless High School. So Lawless still want their name up there, so they put their name, but it is because they can, yeah. So we're putting together a strategy. Gail Glapion is doing her best to talk to one of her friends who's on the board to let them know what we're doing and get the meeting postponed for Monday. So hopefully that is, that's the main strategy.
Valerie, do you think, also previous to that, like you have a group that are down there, you said you were doing a tour. Is there any way that there's not somebody that has a contact with one of the local news stations that could be on the tour?
We'll work on that too.
I mean,
Good.
just to have them meet you there, just to do a tour of the school, this group is here, and it doesn't even have to be adversarial about the school board, but just getting that out there as far as this is a gem that we have right here in our community.
Right.
And our favorite columnist that people always go to, the person that
our favorite what?
Columnist, someone who writes the column.
Yeah.
If you get that, I tell you what, they have a lot of influence.
Okay.
It's needful that.
And all you have to do is call the station or the person or whatever. It can happen very quickly.
Okay.
It is needful. If you really want them, whether they say yes or they're going to postpone, even if they say we're going to postpone, you need that in front of it.
Right. I got that.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll have, we found out that the councilman,
is instant.
the councilman who's over that area who we're working with went to that high school also.
Oh.
And we did the prayer, and for those who don't know, we did the prayer gathering in the Lower Ninth Ward, and the councilman had another meeting. He did not want to leave. He was so touched that we chose his area. He said, I didn't know I was coming to a healing. And this man is about 6'4", 6'5". He was a football player.
Wow.
And, he teared up. Denise could tell you.
That goes in your book.
Yeah, he teared up. He was so touched by what we're doing. And, our mission and vision for something and he said, you chose me, I'm just so touched. So he had tears in his eyes. So I just want to,
Can he
Marion?
also call the school board or the powers that
it's
be?
so political, it's not gonna know. Gail is handling that. She's
Okay.
gonna call someone.
All right.
We don't want them to know that we, you know,
Um.
kind of stop them beforehand. You wanted to say something, Marion?
Yeah, Nigeria just called. She's trying to get on, and she says she has something very profound to say. So we're working on that.
Okay. Yeah, I saw she called me.
But I think listening to people talk, the idea of getting public opinion around this support is very critical. And that's where the journalists, that's where, you know, others coming to see and highlighting, as you've been talking to us, Valerie, the positiveness of what's going on. In this day and age, given that there's so much negativity, there is a need for something good, something positive that people can focus on. So I think getting the word out, you know, what's going on in the school, how unique in terms of what they're doing, I think that helps in a discussion when a school board is coming together to say, what are we going to do with it? If you have people who are watching and they're aware that people are watching, because so much happens in the dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we are, if the meeting does go on, I told the principal to get as many parents to go to that meeting, the students, all of the workers, and you know, just to bring, and then we will be there as well.
Other
Well,
alumni.
when you're there, Valerie, if you could have pictures of some of the things that are at the school, if you can get that, that's a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Okay.
And they will be so
That's a
impressed.
great thing. Let me put that right there.
I've been called to attend several school board meetings because because I've been asked to do a lot of things with the school district. So
Valerie, I have a question.
that it's amazing how much the school board is concerned about what the public thinks.
Got it.
Valerie.
Yeah, wait 1 second. Marion, call Nigeria and tell her I just text her the information. And she has it by email to get on the call.
Yeah, I've sent it to her 3 times now.
Tell her I texted to her. Okay. So who was saying something?
Yes, you know, I serve on the county board, right? So
yeah.
After the meeting, I'd like to speak with you. If they're trying to close the school, we need to find out the reasons why. So please call me.
One reason is that it's low enrollment. But most of the schools nowadays after COVID have low enrollment, so that can't be an excuse. But yeah, that's one of the main. We're trying to find all of that out now.
So yeah, I want you to just get me the information. I can definitely help you on that because as a county board, we approve charter schools, right?
Yeah.
So I need to know the reasons for the closure or why they're proposing.
Yeah, we're trying to find that out right now. Gail is calling her friend over the weekend, and as soon as I find that out, I will let you know.
And also find out if during the meeting, if they have a Zoom option where candidates can come in or members can come in via Zoom or via teleconference and have a voice. And if that's possible, we can do that as well.
Okay.
But as a board member, I can definitely assist in that aspect of it.
Got it.
All our school board meetings are online too.
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely check that out. And Denise, please call me because I have a question for you after this.
Okay.
Okay, Najia is coming on. If you don't mind, we're gonna stay if anyone could stay just a few more minutes. So
I have another Zoom call I have to go to. So
okay.
Bye everybody. Thank you. What a wonderful, wonderful session, Zoom call. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Inspired me.
Take care.
Okay, Najia, you're on. We can't hear you. You're not on mute. I don't know what's going on with your mic.
We should be able to hear her.
Could she
We
write
can't.
in the text if she can hear us
Hmm.
in the
Call
chat?
her, and ask if she can hear us. So I just thank you. I'm just so taken by the work we're doing in the Lower Ninth Ward. And I asked God everything, you know. So when I got to to rent the car, they had upgraded me. And I said, oh God, you got jokes. It looked like I need to ride in the back and someone need to drive me. The car was so big. I said, well, all I need is a shotgun, a rifle, or a machine gun or something, you know. It looked like for the big gangster things, a gangster car. I said, God, you got jokes. So anyway, when I got to check in the hotel, they said, ma'am, we upgraded you for no cost. And I had a full kitchen, pots and pans, a stove, refrigerator, and a living room. It was just amazing. And everyone is just so excited about the work we're doing. We went to the sheriff's office, working with the inmates. It was 17 and 18, mostly 17, but 18, a few 18-year-olds. And Vanessa was there from Tennessee. She does reentry and she also works on the school board, and she has a school, a Montessori school that she's put together. And we spoke into those kids' life. You know, the words that Vanessa from Tennessee drove, you know, she flew to New Orleans and told them that they were kings. Those little kids started sitting up. It's a school that's in the jail. It's the only school in Louisiana that is in the jail. And we spoke to two different, they have science classes with chemistry, history, and they assess where these kids are and they teach them and give them all the credit so they can get a full certificate. And so you know, it's just really, really amazing of the kind of work that they're doing. And we told the kids that we were going to get other people to come in and talk to them and find out. Vanessa's going to find out where they are. And when you walk in the class, you know, even though they had the chains on their legs, each one, they had on navy blue uniforms. They didn't want to put the orange ones on them. They don't want them to feel like a prisoner. And they just said, hi. They spoke to us when we came in from their little hall. Hi, hello. Very obedient, you know, they just didn't have the right upbringing. So the staff loved them. They called the principal mother, a mama, and they called the assistant principal dad. And not the assistant principal, the director of the school. But the staff teach them life skills. They're learning. They eat healthy. And that was really, really touching. And so Vanessa says she want to take that back to Memphis. And the school setting also. It's just amazing. So I just wanted to kind of update everyone. We can't hear Nigeria, and unfortunately we're out of time. Nigeria, if you can hear us. Marion, let Nigeria know we're gonna have to go because we're out of time.
Okay.
Maybe she can do an article and we'll
I've
get.
got
I've got Nigeria on here and she is live. Say something, Nigeria. Can we hear you?
That's the thing. We can't hear her.
We can't hear you.
We
We
see
can't
her.
hear you at all,
Yeah.
honey.
Yeah,
Okay.
we see her, but
Yeah,
we can't.
tell her she can do an article and we could, you know, have, and she'll have, ask her son to take a look at her computer. And tell her she looks great.
She does, huh? Beautiful.
Yeah, she does. Tell her we
She's
said she looked great, not Marion. We're gonna wrap up. Thank you, ladies, for all the beautiful stories. Have a great weekend. Any of you have any ideas on what we could do to save the school? I love the ideas that you give.
Information on that. Can you hear me, Mariam?
Yes, I can hear you. It's going to be a little difficult.
I'm gonna read it to you, and you can tell them.
Can you guys hear?
We
Yeah.
can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear Najia?
We can hear
Okay,
you.
you're on. Everybody can hear you. Go.
Okay, here's some information that you need to look at. I think y'all got a lawsuit going on. This could be one.
With the school?
I researched on today. Yeah, it's dealing with your school project that you're working on now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just read it to you real quick so we can be done with it. The belief that skin color determines a person's ability to learn has been discredited and is not supported by the scientific evidence. Research in genetics and neuroscience has shown that learning ability is influenced by a combination of factors such as environment, social economic status, access to quality education, family support, and individual neurobiology, rather than skin color or race. That's the first. Studies have found that disparities in education outcome are often due to differences in social and environmental context, like access to resources. The quality of the schooling explores to stressors and cultural factors rather than any inherited genetics or biological difference relating to race. In fact, the extensive research in genetics demonstrates that genetic diversity within a so-called race group is often greater than being them. And the race itself is now understood as a social construct with no significant impact on the cognitive potential. So they're telling you it has nothing to do with it. The American Psychological Association, along with other major scientific and educational organizations, emphasize that intelligence and learning capabilities are complex traits shaped by a myriad of interacting factors, and any assumptions linking skin color to learning abilities are scientifically unfounded and harmful.
Got it. Can you send that to us, Najia? Can you send it and I'll send it out to everyone?
I'll have to send that to you. So my suggestion is, this is what you guys need to do, is you need to contact a civil rights attorney.
Yeah.
Okay. You need to go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Coletta, Pastor Amos Brown is a civil rights attorney. In fact, he's the president of the NAACP chapter president for San Francisco, and also he serves on the board. And she's gonna talk to him, and she said he would love to help us.
Yeah, he's not an attorney.
Get in touch with your state representative and your congressperson.
Yeah, we're done. Right.
Send them a letter and tell them what they're trying to do. And I think you got a lawsuit on your hands.
Okay.
May I say
and
something?
I'll continue to research. Listen to y'all getting ready to leave.
Yeah.
I also did some, they talking about skin color. They need to do their history. If you do your history on skin color, it's valid. They saying that we don't have the ability. I'm saying from the research I looked into, which was with Timbuktu, which was the first university on the planet, right? They're the ones who taught Leonardo da Vinci and all of them. They went to Timbuktu in Africa, learned from them, and took it back and claimed it as their own.
Got it.
If they want to talk about skin color, it's the black skin that taught them. Okay?
Wow.
But we didn't have any. If we didn't have that, how can they promote that and just say that? You know, they're trying to play us. And I think we got a lawsuit on our hands. I'm just saying it like it is. I'm not.
Dr. Honeycutt. Dr. Honeycutt.
Okay, you know, Najia, that's great information. Okay, but Valerie, having sat in on the committee yesterday, a lot of this information that's being shared by these wonderful women, you've already heard. I told you about a lawsuit as being the last thing that you would do once you have explored and utilized all the other techniques that have been, you know, from Emma telling you about all these different women. They're telling you basically the same thing that we heard before. Okay, we don't know if this has anything to do with racial construction and everything, but we sense that it does, because so many of the schools that are closing happen to be Black schools or Latino schools or schools with young people.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so I understand why Najia is upset about this, and we all are, but we're gonna have to be calm and understand that there are certain things that we have to do prior to getting to the point where we sue anybody. Yeah. Okay, and so the information. Wait a minute, Najia. Wait a minute, Najia. The information that you are getting about your meeting tomorrow, where you're working with the people on the scene in New Orleans, will be very helpful to determining what your next steps and strategies should be. Are you listening to me, Valerie?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Yes,
you know,
I do.
You're raising a good point, but I mean, you've already heard this about not what she said specifically about the racial construct stuff, but about the lawsuit, a potential lawsuit. But you don't know if you're there yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, we're getting the information.
You've got to get the information. Ask God to give you the wisdom and understanding once you get the information, and ask God to give you the steps and the strategies that you need to employ in order to take care of good business. Okay, that's all I'm saying to you.
I got it.
And let me say one thing else. Najia, thank you very much, but I'm gonna have to intrude here because I've got to go. I just wanted to tell all of you that those of you who are writing books, don't overlook utilizing Pam Mary as your editor, and the wonderful Marion Bieber as what I call the go-to woman that helps you to put all these things together. You know, we have got, I need to say that, because some of you are trying to write books and you're thinking, you know, like, well, you know, you've got the talent right here with PWIC. Use it. Put your money back in the hands of people who are working hard and doing the work right with this group. We've got the talent. If you knew how much talent these people have, that Marion and Pam have, you'd be trying to, you know, and Marion's busy all the time anyway. She's really busy. But we've got the talent. So I want you to know that. Okay? And stop fooling around. Your books are important. What you have to say is important. And you know people love personal stories. Okay? Especially when it helps to uplift them and get them to do something positive. Okay, I'm through. And wonderful, you wonderful women, thank you. I got to go. God bless you, Najia. I'll talk to you later, all of you.
Okay.
Bye. Bless you, Dr. Honeycutt.
Bye.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. I got your message, Carolyn. Najia, you look so great.
You do. You're just radiant today.
Oh, wow.
Look at you. I love it.
Thank you. Praise God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, send us that article, because we're fighting tooth and nail.
Yeah, you have to fight. This is a good fight, though. You know,
I just need to go buy me some boxing gloves.
This is all about money. They're trying to get money from the government. That's why they come up with
Right.
this stuff.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
all
gonna
about
happen.
money.
Yeah.
So what
If
you need is
anyone
like
have
I
any,
said before,
right.
you need to contact your senator, your congresswoman in
Yeah,
your
we
area
are.
and write them a letter and tell them what they're trying to do. There's your
Yes.
first steps right there.
Okay.
And then get your attorney on it and it'll move forward by itself after that.
Yes.
Gotta research it. I'm gonna
Yes.
continue to research.
I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone for being on the call. Thank you, Chi for writing the article. Jane, we're happy to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Denise, for being here in New Orleans and traveling and for all the work everyone is doing. And happy to see you again, Dr. Scott. Thank you for the info. I thought he was an attorney, but thank you for letting me know it's not.
Yeah.
We have our work cut ahead of us, and I will keep everyone abreast of what we're doing with the school and how that's
Awesome.
going.
Yeah, I really want to know what that is, what that's about. I'm really surprised to hear that they've even said something like that. Wow, why would they say that? But it's about the money.
Oh yeah,
They're trying to get the monies.
right.
Mhm.
And that's, yeah, we have to fight against that. Well,
You
thank
did.
you, ladies. You wanted to
It's
say
good to
something,
see you,
Dr.
Dr.
Scott?
Scott.
You,
No, I just
why don't you go ahead?
enjoy the rest of the day for everyone.
Yeah, do a prayer. Prayers out.
Father, we do thank you for your word that says the prayers of the righteous availeth much. And then with the invitation to call upon you, and you will answer and show us great and mighty things that we know not. So, Father, we need you. We need your favor. We need your guidance, oh God. And we thank you for the word adroitness. We thank you, oh God, how you've kept us and allowed us to be skillful, clever even. And so, God, as we move forward, we pray for Monday's 5:30 p.m. meeting. We ask for favor.
Yes. Save the
We
Lord.
ask
Yes,
for guidance. We ask that you
indeed.
shine a light, oh God, and let nothing be hidden, that you push back powers and principalities of darkness, and that you usher in your righteousness and your justice for this school, Martin Luther King Jr. High School. God, that you raise these children up with their voices and those around them and every leader that can help advocate for this situation, oh God. And let it be a new horizon for the lower ninth ward, oh God. Let it be the encouragement and the peace, oh God, for hope for a brighter tomorrow. And we thank you for that hope. We thank you for the campus. We thank you for NASA. We thank you, oh God, for everyone that's pouring into our children. And we ask your blessings. We ask for your wisdom, knowledge, and understanding as we take each step that you're ordering in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Great prayer. Thank you. I felt it.
Yes.
Amen.
Beautiful.
Blessing everybody.
Okay. Have a great rest of
Bye.
your weekend. Denise, give
Have a
me a
good
call when you
weekend.
can.
All right, Val.
All right.
Be blessed. Have a blessed
Bye.
weekend. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you,
Oh, right.
Najia.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you for your input, Najia.
Thank you, Nigeria.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you
We
for the
appreciate
article,
you.
Chi.
Okay. Talk to you
Najia,
soon.
you look like you're getting younger.
You do.
Yeah, well, you get that because you don't ask. I ask. Ask the Lord to make me useful,
Yeah.
and He's doing it.
Why
Yeah,
not?
he is. You look
There you
great.
go. Claim it. Claim it.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
claim it.
That's
Yeah, you
that's
guys
why
will do this.
Robin thought you were 50.
Oh,
No, honey, I'm 77.
don't have to tell
Wow.
anybody.
Amazing.
77.
Oh,
Wow.
the time flies.
Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Chi
it
Chi.
does.
Thank you, Chi Chi, for all for all your help in making this
That
article.
was a great story,
Yeah.
Chichi.
Really good.
Yes.
I think everybody loved it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Let's be
Okay.
encouraged. Let's be
Okay.
encouraged and go on in prayer with the Lord.
Yes.
Amen.
Okay.
Amen.
Hey,
Talk later.
guys,
Bye-bye.
have a great day.
Bye.
Okay.